Hi guys.
Today is at Phnom Penh Safari.
Okay, so this is kind of like a zoo. It's located a little bit out of Phnom Penh. We drove out here this morning. It opens at 10 o'clock. It's pretty hot already, so let's go inside. Verity's got the tickets.
Yeah, the ticket here.
So $10 each.
Yes.
Same price for locals and foreigners at the moment. Our ride out here from near Tol Slain Genocide Museum took around 40 minutes. The turn-off could have been better signposted, but it is hard to miss the large concrete entranceway. This area is obviously slated for further development and will be home to more tourist-based activities. But the place we are going to today had its opening date of the 29th of April 2018, so had barely gotten started when the world essentially closed. There is a nearby sports stadium and water park that have already been completed, and in the future you will see more activities here. Spanning more than 60 hectares of land, Phnom Penh Safari is a first of its kind large-scale zoo project in the kingdom, and will become the largest ever zoo of its kind in Phnom Penh and in Cambodia, with an investment value of around $9 million US. It has an eye-catching ambience as you first arrive. The main entrance of the safari definitely derives inspiration from Angkor Wat. The 5 central towers of Angkor Wat, symbolizing the peaks of Mount Meru, are evident here. If you arrive early, you can sit and relax below the palm trees. When it was first opened, they had more than 800 animals in their care, including dolphins. But as with most tourist attractions, the forced closures and lack of tourists has had a huge impact on this site, and the dolphins are now gone and the numbers of animals have been much reduced. The entranceway is flanked by elephants, and you are greeted with a fountain with a large golden dragon in the centre. It has got that feeling of no expense spared. Cue the Jurassic Park music. The signage around the entrance is confusing, especially about how much to pay. There was once a dual pricing policy, charging foreigners twice the price of locals, but at the time of filming, entrance into the park for adults is $10 for both foreigners and locals. There are other optional activities, including buying food to feed the animals and a ride on the train. Most activities add $1 or $2. Most of the walkways are covered here, and there is a garden-like feel to the place. This also reduces the heat a little as you wander around, and you'll be thankful of that. There are pictures with animals on offer, and you can get fairly close to them. There are many statues dotted around the zoo, which adds to its park-like feeling. The cages seem of a reasonable standard, and I have certainly seen worse conditions for the animals to live in as we have moved around Southeast Asia. Seeing animals like sun bears, sloth bears and tigers in enclosures is a little heartbreaking. But like everywhere in the world, people and animals' natural environments are bumping up against each other. Animals' habitats are shrinking rapidly around the world, and perhaps this is a necessary evil to bring these majestic animals to the front of people's mind, so that they feel empathy for them, and try to reduce activities like encroachment into their habitats. There is also the practice of bushmeats that is part of many countries around the world, some of these animals ending up on dining tables. In many of the enclosures you can buy food to feed the animals. Because this would be too dangerous to hand feed a sun bear, they have rigged a line where you can send food to them. These guys are cooling off in the water of their enclosure. In the wild, they feed on fruits, ants and termites. They are listed as vulnerable on the IUCN Red List, mainly because of habitat loss and degradation. These tigers are taking the lead from the sloth bears and cooling off in the water. They may look cute, but be under no pretense. These are apex predators with strong hunting instincts that would be on you in seconds if it wasn't for the wire net between you and them. They are beautiful creatures though, and there is a plan to release some tigers into the wild of the Cardamom Ranges in Cambodia, once prey numbers are of sufficient number to support them. This is a tram that circles the park. It is $2 per person and provides another way to get around. It seems fairly well used by visitors, or possibly this day it just seemed that way. Today there seemed to be a field trip from Balti School in Phnom Penh to the zoo. In the centre of the park you can see large numbers of deer, these being the prey animals that the tigers would rely on if released. They are often trapped and killed in the wild, and their meat is sold in the markets here. In another video we made, we visited Phnom Penh Rescue Centre, where the link should be above now. They rescue with the hope to release these animals back into the wild. The gibbons released into the jungles around Siem Reap recently come from Phnom Penh.
Hi guys, so we're at the restaurant at the Phnom Penh Safari. Surprisingly sort of okay prices. So I'll show you lunch and we'll have some lunch, okay?
This is the elephant enclosure at Safari. You can buy sugarcane to feed to the elephants along with other fruits. You can see here that the elephants have frames to allow people to ride the elephants, a practice that is being phased out in many places, including the temple complex at Siem Reap. This must be the world's loneliest flamingo. There is only one live flamingo here, with the rest just being plastic replicas. We are coming to the end of our time at Phnom Penh Safari, with one more stop, feeding the fancy koi here. We will continue afterwards with these shows at the zoo, these being somewhat controversial. We saw the bird, tiger and elephant shows. We gave the orangutan and crocodile shows a miss though. That brings us to the elephant in the room. the shows that they put on featuring the animals. In the world, many countries label these shows as exploitative and should be stopped. Think of the animal welfare, you'll hear them say. And I tend to agree with this assessment. But am I just viewing it through foreign eyes? In my own country, animals are killed by the millions to provide meat. They certainly didn't have any agency over this. I'm sure that they would not consent willingly. In developing countries, you only have to head out to the provinces to find beasts of burden providing their muscle or literal horsepower to prepare fields, cultivate soils, and as a mode of transportation. Again, I am sure that they did not surrender their agency and would rather not do this work. I find it difficult to watch tigers being forced to jump through hoops of fire, and obviously drew the line at going to the orangutan and crocodile shows. Where do you draw the line? Are bird shows okay, reptiles marginal, and shows involving mammals a bridge too far? Do we go after the TikTok and YouTube creators that exploit their pets? It is a contentious issue, and I really am unsure of where I land on it, having lived in developing countries for over a decade. After all, there would be considerably less cows in the world if there wasn't such a demand for dairy products and beef. and that is probably the best answer you could come up with, an economic one. If you do not wish to see shows in which animals are exploited, vote with your wallet. Zoos are businesses that are competing for the entertainment dollar of consumers. If enough like-minded people come together and say, not for me, this becomes a demographic and zoos can go after that demographic or not. Perhaps to sum it up, animal shows and visitor-animal interactions are a common feature in many zoos and aquariums around the world. From birds of prey flying displays and penguin feeding, to walkthroughs of wallaby paddocks and reptile handling, not all shows are bad. Some could actually be positive for the animals involved, and these are some ways to tell which ones are welfare friendly. But for each and every one of these performances and interaction, the question must always be asked: does this experience offer positive welfare for the animal involved? That's all for today, guys. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, like and share, and join us next time.